Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and really get to the heart of the insights you need. Today, we're plunging into commercial real estate,
Yeah.
specifically for businesses. And our source material for this deep dive, it's titled Commercial Real Estate, Seize the Opportunity. And it's from businessbrokernews.us. Now, what really jumps out, and I think what we need to unpack, is this sense of urgency in the title. Find commercial real estate for business before prices soar.
hmm
That sounds less like an observation and more like a call to action, right? So we're going to explore what this opportunity really means, according to the article, and why the timing seems so critical right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because the article doesn't just talk about market timing in general terms. It seems to be laying out a case for a very specific window, a potential advantage opening up in the commercial property market right now. It's really about understanding the forces that are signaling this particular moment.
Okay, so it's not just the usual buy low, sell high advice. The article seems to be saying there are specific conditions, maybe economic ones, making this moment special. What are some of those key things the source points to? Why might prices be poised to soar?
Right, that's the critical question for any business considering this. The article mentions several factors coming together. For instance, it points directly to expected shifts in the economy, specifically a projection that commercial loan interest rates might decrease, and historically, easier access to capital. That really tends to boost demand in the commercial sector significantly.
hmm Easier money means more buyers.
Exactly. And what's more, it also talks about a noticeable tightening in certain market subsectors,
Mm.
things like shrinking vacancy rates, higher absorption rates. That points towards a supply-demand imbalance starting to form. And these aren't just vague trends. The article suggests these are specific metrics businesses should be watching.
Okay, that's where it gets really interesting. It sounds less like just a warning and more like almost a tactical playbook. So beyond these big economic shifts, does the article get into where these opportunities might be, like specific types of properties, or maybe certain geographical areas that are looking particularly, hot right now?
It does, actually. It provides some pretty granular detail on specific market segments. For example, it explicitly talks about how the whole shift towards hybrid work models has uniquely impacted the office sector.
Oh, right. The office space question.
Exactly. And while some might see that as a challenge, the article frames it as creating distinct opportunities. Opportunities for businesses maybe looking to downsize or perhaps reconfigure their space for more flexibility and potentially getting more advantageous terms now, before those spaces maybe get repurposed or demand shifts again.
That makes sense. Finding opportunity in the disruption.
Precisely. But then conversely, it also points to continued strong performance in other areas. Think industrial and logistics real estate. That's still being driven hard by e-commerce. And there, the article suggests prices are likely to keep climbing, which makes getting in earlier, if that's your sector, even more critical.
So this opportunity, it's not really a one-size-fits-all thing. It's nuanced. Depends heavily on the sector you're in or looking at. That feels like a really crucial distinction. Okay, so given these conditions, these different sector dynamics, what kind of actionable advice does the article give for businesses wanting to actually seize this moment? I mean, beyond just knowing the window might be open, what steps does it recommend for making a smart move?
Well, the emphasis is really on strategic planning and thorough due diligence. The article strongly recommends, for example, having your financing pre-approved. That's key.
Get your ducks in a row financially first.
Absolutely. And also really understanding your specific spatial needs clearly. And it mentions engaging with a broker who has that deep market intelligence, especially in these specific sectors we talked about, the high opportunity or transforming ones.
Right, local knowledge.
hmm And it also stresses evaluating properties not just on the asking price today, but thinking about their long-term value proposition. How adaptable is the space to your future needs, especially with all the shifts we're seeing? So it's not just about grabbing the first available deal. It's about making a smart, informed acquisition that fits the long game.
Okay, that's sounds practical. But, the article paints this compelling picture of opportunity, seizing the moment. Does it also talk about the other side? Any potential risks? Trying to perfectly time the market is notoriously tricky. What if the prediction, this soaring prices idea, doesn't quite pan out as expected? Or, something else shifts unexpectedly?
That's a really vital point to raise. And yes, the article does caution against just, blindly rushing in. It definitely underscores the importance of doing a robust financial analysis. It urges businesses to really stress test their acquisition plans, look at different market scenarios. What if rates don't fall? What if demand softens?
Prepare for different outcomes.
Precisely. It acknowledges that commercial real estate, fundamentally, it's a long-term play. And while this current window might offer advantages, the core decision has to be driven by the business's actual need for the space and its long-term viability. That should always come before trying to make a speculative short-term gain.
So fundamentals still matter most.
Always. And it suggests ways to mitigate risk, too. Maybe looking at flexible lease terms if buying outright feels too risky right now, or perhaps diversifying asset types if that's appropriate for the business.
Okay, let's try to summarize our deep dive then. Based on this source, commercial real estate. Seize the opportunity. The core message seems to be a strong suggestion of a current, maybe time-sensitive, opportunity for businesses to acquire commercial real estate. And this isn't just a feeling. The article backs it up with specific indicators, things like interest rate forecasts, those supply-demand shifts in key submarkets we discussed, and those nuanced insights into sectors like office and industrial. It really pushes for strategic action before this anticipated rise in prices, which they seem to feel is data-driven.
Exactly. And if you take that core message, that idea of a specific window driven by specific factors, it kind of leads us to a final thought, maybe something for you, the listener, to reflect on. How does understanding these potential signals for soaring prices, the specific economic and market indicators the article outlines, how does that actually change your approach to commercial real estate decisions? What does it really mean to seize the opportunity in a dynamic market like this one? Not just reacting, but making a proactive strategic move for your business's future.
That's a great question to leave things on. Definitely consider these insights as you navigate your own commercial real estate thoughts and plans. You're armed now with more than just a headline, hopefully some